G'day, how you going? Michael here from O'Donnell's Aussie Homestead. Well, you should see what I'm doing here at the moment. It's been raining 2 days, pretty solid. It's not like torrential, it's just constant. And actually, no, this is the third day. And what it's done, I don't think it's flooding in some areas, yes, but not here. I think the tide must have been wrong, which is good for us. But it's given me a trouble with my little pond. I'll take you over to see it in a second. First, I'll just show you what's been happening over here. Oops, so the sun's probably in your eyes. Try and get over here better. As you can see there's my two pigs together. We let them together about 2 days ago. They've made an absolute mess, obviously with this water. Part of the reason is the cage, the lower one gets more water than the top one does. This is slightly higher, so this is better for them. And we figured they were about time they won't be thinking about beating each other up, or the female beating the male up. She might be interested, and I think she is. Anywho, we'll move on, and I'll show you what's happened to us down this way. Yeah, it's been raining pretty heavy. It's been driving us nuts, actually. I can't do anything. My plan was to finish this pond. I went and got a few tools to do it. I'll show you that as we go along on this journey. But yes, look here. This is where we feed the goats when they're up here in this paddock, and it's now getting wheat or something growing up from all the grain. Yeah, oh, sorry about that, this light. Yeah, so the problem has been, how do I put it? The problem's been the water's got too deep for me to even get there. I could go across my little road made of tiles. I was talking to Josh from In Your Backyard Homestead. No, say it again. In Your Yard Homestead. I'll get spanked for that. That's my opinion. But what I did, I couldn't get hold of any road base or anything, but I managed to get hold of someone. Said to me, who knows I'm doing this type of thing, said, "Oh, do you want some broken tiles? Roof tiles. They've been crushed up. They're about the size of maybe 40 mil stone, or which is inch and three-quarter stone or something like that." And we've laid them along the road because it was too wet. I'm on the other side of these trees. You can probably see the red there. And it went down here. You'll see what I just did a previous video, and I'm releasing that now, and you'll see this after. So you can see the red rock from here going along, and it swung around down there, and guess what? She's under. My son and I have been doing all this. Jamie. Hey, Jamie. Any pretty young ladies out there want a nice gentleman? He's available. I put these strings in here. You can see it better. Let's have a look at that. Yep. You can see the strings going across here. The water has dropped back. This is exciting because before that was all underwater. Even though we've been getting a lot of rain, the tide must have changed, and so it dropped. But the water was up to the base of that brick there. This is good news for me anyway. The water is receding. It's probably dropped maybe 9 to 12 inches because it's gone from there, as you can see, all the way down to there. Now obviously that doesn't drop off, so I'm trying to get an understanding of what it would be. It'd be a couple of those little wire panels, at least 8 inches anyway. Very exciting for me. This tree will have to go. As you're probably aware, I've tiled. Not tiled. I've up on the hill there. I don't know if you can see them. Besser blocks. I call them cubic squares of concrete, and and I've been lowering them into the water, knocking them over. That's becoming too hard to do it precisely, because once I've got a row across, I've got to put a second row on. That'll bring me up high enough to be out of the water. Now, I believe, and I might be wrong, that they're 2 blocks 600 high isn't going to cut it to block the water at this point. I'll be doing I'll put a laser level up, I'll check it out, but my opinion is, because I dug down through the mud on the top, the black soil, whatever you want to call it, black crap, and hit the clay. And I left a groove, so there's basically a groove across there. And now I'm laying them in there. So that way they're actually about half that concrete block is in the ground. That way they don't slip so much. They won't slip when I drive on them. But I don't feel that's going to cut it either, because when I go a second lot high, if I start to pull with my excavator bucket, I'm afraid they might pull myself in. So I have a way around that. Stay tuned, you will see it. So there you go. That's the news about going on where I am. That was all my little tree area. There's a rock there. I'll sit on that rock, and over here, so it's underwater, and have a fish when it drops down. And the grass on the hill there, you can see it's getting a green tinge. It's starting to spring up. Good thing about the rain. On the hill over there, that's sort of leveled out a little bit. When it gets dry enough, I can actually walk on it now, and I can actually even drive a bobcat on it. But if I tried to work the bobcat, I sink. So, yeah, going right around over here. Looks great, doesn't it? Imagine that all green grass coming down to the water. So, whoops. So, we'll get out of it. That's better. So, I hope you like this a little showing what's going on, and I hope it works out. I'll catch you later. Bye for now. Oh, I forgot something. Ring that bell. Subscribe. Give it a big thumbs up if you found that to be interesting. And after all this time I've been on YouTube, I keep not looking at the camera, because I keep looking at the screen, because I think I'm so pretty, that's why. Bye. Big observation my son just pointed out to me. It's interesting. So I kept on thinking this is the way, I kept on thinking this is the fence line, there's the billabong there, whatever you like to call it. This is a dead end. It's just the edge of the billabong, and it just happens to go on my face. 99.9% of the time it's dry, especially in summer. But by dredging it out, I'm going to hold water. Now, what he said, I kept on thinking the water runs that way, because that's the way it goes when it's flooding. But that's only because the water can't get out the main way. And my son was mentioning, here is a little trench somebody dug. There's our pond, there's the water out there, the billabong, and there's a whatever, and it runs along here. They dug a trench along my fence line, and it went around there, and it goes over to a more open area. I'm like, this is like a little lake. That area over there is like a little lake, and this has joined it to down the bottom where there's a thing called Deep Creek is. I mean, if you look up here now, and he said, oh, this looks like it's flowing, and it's going up that way.
You turn the camera around so it's a better camera.
Yeah, I'm going to turn the camera around so you can see it, but you can really see it. Now, look over there if you can see. Can you see it flowing? You can probably see it flowing, but just as much here.
Let me see.
It's running that way. That's how much the water is. It's running fast. It's draining very quickly.
Yeah. You can see it's not all
Oh, one of my little, this is the see this here? This is what my son used on the tops of the horns of the goats. It obviously kicked it off. I personally stick them down on the horns, but he puts them across the horns.
See all the stuff they dredged.
Oh, look at that. Garbage. Even out here. 2 bottles floating. Interesting.
Yeah.
3 bottles. Oh, this is really good. Look at that. That is really going fast. This billabong's got to drop back in a day. It's really a pond, or a large pond here. It's only because of this that it's got access to the creek. Very interesting. Never seen it before here because it's always been covered in lantana, and my goats have cleared it out. This here, I'll be under 8 feet of lantana, which is not a very good thing. Brought in from England. Said, lovely plant, lovely flowering plant. Yes, right. It is now just covered all of the Central Coast. It loves it here. But yes, very, very exciting. Actually, it looks quite nice, actually. Anywho, there you go.